you have seen different parts of, fighting an election, fighting various kinds of things. What are your views, in your Navbharat avatar, and the fact, do you think politics can be taught? What do you think will be the challenges with something like this?
So I think Mohan very clearly articulated the need for it, and I think we all are in agreement. I could see from the volume of the claps we had, and I hope these claps get translated into real action, but I think need is very clearly felt. Been an entrepreneur 3 times over, and I retired in 2005 when I turned 40 to be a politician, which is a rare kind of thought people have. I think we as entrepreneurs, when we start a company, of course, when you're very young, we don't know what you're doing, but then we are really, maybe second startup when you do, you look at, is there a market for a product or service you want to provide? I went around and talking to people. I think anybody in this room will agree that, do you think you're happy with the politics today? I think the answer will be no. Is there anybody happy? Let me ask. So if that's the case, if the answer is no, then do we need politics? If you're a democracy, we are a parliamentary democracy, we do need politics. Without that, we can't run the country. So if there is a problem with the current, what you've got, and we really need something better, then means there is a market. And that's where entrepreneurs come in. And that's why I think there is an opportunity for political entrepreneurship. In fact, Thai Delhi did something on that. They had a debate on political entrepreneurship. And of course I was there, and Arvind was there, and many couple of people. Rajiv articulated the need for telling people what is politics. What are roles and responsibilities as a politician? Do you understand what you're supposed to do? And member of parliament is not supposed to clean the streets. Because many people who become MP, oh, my road is so dirty, my pothole is not getting fixed. But that's not the job of the MP. He's supposed to legislate sitting in Delhi. But of course, corporator has that job. He has to ensure that it happens. So I think Rajiv and what he devised as a program, how to become a politician, what you do after you become a politician, things like that. There are a lot of enthusiastic people who would like to. The question is, politics is about winning elections. There's a need for it, which Mohan articulated. What a politician should do is what Rajiv articulated, and I'm going to articulate how do you become politician and win elections. And since he has not got the ticket twice from Congress, hope. But don't worry, if Congress doesn't give, Navbharat has a ticket for you. Because that's the idea and reason of Navbharat to exist. We want good people like you who really want good for the society, and political parties don't give tickets for reasons. I'll tell you why they don't give tickets. So I think the people like you should be there, but you need a structure, an approach, the money. I'll tell you how, I'll give you the 101 of how to win elections just now. And you need all of that. Stand alone, you'll just not stand. And that's what it is. So you need a party, and you get from Congress, well and good. You're a good person, irrespective of the party, you'll do good. I don't think you're going to be corrupt. I hope I'm right. So how do you go about fighting elections? And that's what contribution of Navbharat as a political party will be to this incubator. Because when all these people come, everything we've taught them what good politics is, then there's this, how do I win? And that's what we're going to talk about. So politics and winning elections has 4 components. The very first and most important is campaign finance. And that's the first group. I can see Devan nodding here, and he's a big Democrat in the US, and he has been kind of working with many, many Democrats, including presidential candidates. Without money, nothing moves. The first committee, any candidate, whether it's senator or congressman or president forms, is the finance committee. So you need campaign finance, which is very important. And there are right and legal methods of raising campaign in this country, campaign finance. And believe me, everything is tax exempt. ATG, if you give, is 50%. You give to a political party, is 100%. So any of you who are worrying about paying taxes, please give some money, because then that much tax will be reduced. Second comes political coordination. A lot of people underestimate the power of political coordination. Many of the parties which I've seen, smaller, younger parties, newer parties, they believe that every other party is their enemy, I am the only one. You can never win with that kind of mindset. Our country has 4,000 years of history of caste politics. We have so many religions, we have so many various communities and groups. You have to make sure, a lot of people in this country vote as a group. Many people vote as a block. And they go to, somebody goes to a guru, somebody goes to a mathadish, somebody goes to the business community leader, maybe a Vyapar Mandal, somebody goes to CIA. I don't think CIA gets into politics for that matter, neither TIE. But there are groups, you need to go and reach out to them before you announce your candidature. Will you support me? You become their candidate. That's called political coordination, and it goes beyond that. Whether you align with Lalu or Nitish Kumar is also political coordination. So if you are standing just on your own and thinking that I'm just a good guy, I'll win, you're not going to win. So having money is very important. But making sure somebody is interested in you winning is also very important. You are always interested in winning. There's no big deal about it. But who else is interested and why? So you need to have something for them. Unfortunately, people who are right now interested in governance are the people who are at the margins of society, very poor, underprivileged. Our kind of people have got everything privatized. So we have no interest in the government or governance other than potholes. So our kids go to private school. That doesn't depend on the government. We live in gated communities or apartments which are made by private builders. We don't need that. BESCOM doesn't need power. We get generator of our own. So we don't, and a generator also takes 30 seconds to come. So we have an inverter in the house. So power never goes for us. We go in fancy cars, and now the cars are there, I think, which can withstand one feet of potholes and all. Something was advertised by one of the BMW cars, that 1 feet pothole good enough. So something like that. So then we are trying to privatize ourselves, but then there are some things which are with the government. Law and order with the government. Infrastructure is the government. And mind you, you may send your kid to best school, but then the government has a way to make sure that that best school doesn't remain the best school. So there are a lot of ways you cannot avoid the government. If you can't avoid it, why don't join it? So there is something, and the first time in the history, I'll tell you a very simple incident which was eye-opener. I told my dad, my grandfather was freedom fighter. My dad was a UP government employee, simple employee, middle class family. And I was really one day frustrated when I left. I said, what's happening? Grandfather fought so much for the country. But what happened to you? Why didn't you enter politics? You left the politics to these people. And when I met these people, I was really very upset about it. He said, if I had gone to politics, who will pay for your fees to IIT? I'm a simple government employee. In fact, when I went to IIT, it was tough. And the IIT charges some few hundred rupees per month, plus mess charges. It's not very expensive. But then for a middle class family, post-independence, the first priority was the kids' education, daughter's marriage, by retirement, one house. Very few people who could think beyond that. But what is the excuse we have? Our generation. I have made enough for my lifetime and my kids will be okay. And I think everybody sitting in this room, by and large, has done something well for themselves. We have no excuse not to do anything. I don't think many of you can become politician, have interest in politics, but what stops you from supporting good politics? And that's where comes the concept of campaign finance, and then political coordination. Third aspect comes is the message and communication. Very important. How do you brand yourself? I'll just give a little example how US does it. Yes, we can. Wasn't some fine day, somebody got up and thought of this idea. I think they spent close to $130 million in getting that one sentence. Yes, we can. Of course, we don't have presidential election. But every MP can have a slogan for the city or for whatever he believes in. So in this country, we do not believe into any slogan. Garibi Hatao slogan was the best slogan we ever had, and the worst slogan we had, India Shining. And none of them were researched. If India Shining slogan was researched, I worked very closely with BJP, it was a disaster. Which government lets go of power 9 months ahead of the schedule? The most stupid thing you could do. There are very bad research done. India Shining was disaster slogan. So we don't spend anything and time and effort into finding what is the right message you want to tell to the electorate. I don't think many of us know about it. You got to do research. There's a lot of money involved in that. Then fourth and most important is, we call it voter mobilization and field operation. On the day of election, a member of parliament, which I am going to stand, I will need 1,300 people minimum, because my parliamentary seat will have 1,300 booths. As per the election commission mandate, every booth must have an agent of the candidate. Now, this is what I am fighting with. We are fighting. We filed with the election commission. It was okay when old days there was a paper ballot and people were stuffing this thing, so every party has to put agent, that the stuffing is not happening. But today it is EVM. And if you are believing that officer who is sitting inside the booth is not a guy who is fixing for one, you don't need agents. And this is a disadvantage for the non-established players. I don't think it's going to happen in 2014, but maybe in future. So 1,300 people, how will you get? You don't have 1,300 friends. Even if they're there, they're working people like you and me, they'll never go. So how do you get that? You need 6 months of campaigning. Try to reach out. An MP or constituency has around, just came back from the largest constituency in the country called Unnao, next to Lucknow. 19 lakh people. 6 MLAs. And I'm fielding a candidate there, and he is having a 6-month plan chalked out. 20,000 kilometers he will travel in those 6 months. So we are trying to make this as an art. He has no idea. We have told which road you are going, how you are going to each Gram Panchayat, how you are going to make your Gram Panchayat coordinator, then Gram Sabha coordinator, and this coordinator. I mean, whole thing. It took almost like 6 Excel sheets to do it. Election is a science. It's not just a feeling and art. Now what we are going to do is, we are trying to say that elections can be done. By the way, most of the major parties do scientifically. It's not that they don't do it. A lot of them do it. And in fact, they go to, on a different, they do what caste analysis, this analysis, that analysis. Not every time. Because we don't have those companies in this country, by the way, to do it. In the US, you can outsource your campaign in 2 months. And if they are willing to become our candidate, the means. And our hope is that become our candidates. Out of 200, at least we go to 50 candidates. And I see no reason, because I figured it out. One corporator. The 2,000 votes, and we everybody registered. I don't go to individual houses, very difficult. Apartment complexes have any. In one ward, you get 3 apartments, you get the candidate. Let's give an example how we did. So, from Itai's here will tell you. A to road. I'm feeling with the IT guys. I will not vote. Is the highest voting percentage. All these people, Facebook and internet, and then they asked, okay, who wrote? That this guy has done something. I know he knows one. We just someone else. And he had like 68 crores, 70 crores. He has a job. So he's worrying us. And the fear right. Never ever. Like afterwards he came and my friend said, so we can do it. And this is what I want to all of you. I know many of you may not be an Indian citizen. You can't give money, by the way, directly. If you're not you cannot need for a part. Mother, father, please give the money through there. Your parties you want to give. whosoever gives consent. So, this initiative, and that's why we discuss less. Don't go to high school, then you get into political party, the buses and stopping the trains and doing murdabad in the, that's not the right way of becoming politicians.